Oh, so tasty.
Wake the fuck up. It's time to talk business. Jared Taylor, Matt Best, and Evan Hafer proudly present Blackhearted. Sponsored by BlackRifle Coffee Company and Arson Wave.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hello, everybody. Today, I have two special co-hosts and then a guest. So, Bull, get in here. Let's get up on there and tell everybody that you're here right now.
Bull is here.
You need to get on that mic, Bull.
Oh, yeah.
Keep
I think
going.
I'm on it.
There we go.
Am I on it?
There he is. So, Bull Adams and I, Bull was a TAC P, like myself. How many years have you been in?
I've just went over 19 this year.
Holy shit, you're almost done.
Yeah.
Thank
Sprinting
God.
to the finish. No kidding.
Finally.
All my fucking parts are falling apart. My knees don't work. My shoulders don't work. Can't freaking see and hear shit. So that's good.
Awesome.
It's about time then.
You know, Bull and I have...
He's on that mic. He just can't tell. He's like, I'm closer. It's like I'm blowing a Muppet.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
I'm like right here on this mic, guys.
Bull and I had the pleasure of living together. If you could sum that up in one word, what would it be?
Fuck.
Perfect. And then across from me, we have Kit Cope. And you guys all know Kit Cope.
Oh, hey, my people.
You know, the world's best fighter,
that
world's
guy.
best lover. You know, you got
That's
world,
a secret,
well,
actually.
you have
Most
world
people.
champion. You're a world champion. That's cool.
Yeah. So
you know,
if,
I'm not a world champion.
If you are
of anything.
in the world, then
Yeah.
I'm kind of over the top of you in some ways.
So yes, all of you, I'm sure you're very familiar with Kit because he appears in a lot of our videos, a lot of the ones where I call him and ask him if I could beat him up with various weaponry and other objects.
And those
In which-
videos actually sprung from real phone calls.
That's what they don't know. It's all true. It's all true. So yes, Kit, and Bull are going to be helping me today.
All right.
Because we got to triple team this guest. We have Mr. Jonathan Kite with us tonight. And
Triple teamed.
Oh, yeah.
We're in Vegas.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is how it's done. I mean, it's done.
Getting
with-
triple teamed in an Airbnb. They didn't know what they signed up for with the Instabook.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, we will send him a carefully packaged DVD once it's done.
I have a feeling I'm not getting my deposit back.
This is the movie VHS where like creepy
Oh,
things
yeah.
happen
Oh,
where
yeah.
you are. We're just gonna leave a tape in that says podcast.
I think that's brilliant.
Dude, everywhere you go and just leave a DVD of something creepy.
It's super fucked up.
They're like, we didn't even own a VCR. We bought them a VCR. That's weird.
Well, I've got a piggyback joke on that. I have a friend that's very high strung, partial heart issues and stuff like that because he likes to stress himself out a lot. I ordered him a Magnavox VCR on Amazon Prime every week
Because it was $7.
for 4 months. It was $19. But I mean, these things started taking up space, and I knew he would get pissed, and I called him randomly after about the 7th one, like, just hey, what's up, man? He's like, man, I keep getting fucking VCRs, man.
You know what? If you ever do it again, I love that. I got a suggestion for you. Take a tape, something that I don't know. I'm not criticizing his work, but something like Ernest Goes to Camp. Find
Listen,
all the copies.
I have Ernest Goes to Camp on DVD.
I watched Ernest Saves Halloween. By the way, it's January.
Yeah.
That is not a January film.
I miss Ernest movies.
I love it. Dude, Jim Varney, R.I.P.
my favorite Ernest movie is Ernest Goes to Africa.
By the way, that is I've never seen a more racist film in my life. I was like, is this an Al Jolson movie? It's like most of the people were in blackface. And there was not a single black actor in that movie. But it's crazy that you should put like a bunch of Ernest tapes in and jam them in the VCR and then just have them sent.
I like that. I like that.
To some strange address.
Oh, God, that's it. Well, Jonathan, what we're going to talk about today is you have a very unique situation. You make money for doing things that you obviously love.
Yeah.
And we want to talk about how you got to that point and how it has become sustainable for you at this point because, this is all about business. And in the
For sure.
In the business aspect, we want to see, what strengths and things that you learned along the way, as well as tell us the things that you fucked up, because
Oh, man, I fucked up.
learning from the mistakes is the best way to learn.
The interesting thing about I think I've only been in my business. Like when I started out, I went to college to do this, and then I was lucky enough to start working right away. But I've lived out in LA for about 14 years now, and it's changed so much because people used to have these things, for people that don't know, they're called reels, acting reels, where you show a culmination of your abilities.
Yeah, those days are gone.
They're
It's a
gone.
Skype call now.
I'm saying that's what it is. It's like you have to upload it. But when I got out there first, people were literally making tapes, for themselves, and then they would sit on shelves. And now, because the internet has just shifted things so quickly, and YouTube, people, it's 2005, but it really caught on in the last maybe 5-7 years or something like that. So we've had to constantly, people in my position have had to update themselves. And now with the iPhone, so everything that I'm doing, it comes about adapting. I think that's the biggest thing about somebody in my position. Because if you look at somebody like Ben Affleck, who works at Warner Brothers, for the most part, has a lot of films there, he writes, directs, and stars in these films. And that's what I think, doing what I do to make it sustainable, like you said, it's about being a hybrid. It's about being able to do a lot of things well and coming to the table with your own ideas.
Yeah, you can't just be an actor.
No, I'm telling you, even you think of anybody who's...
You've even got to be your own manager now as an actor.
It's funny. I have this... The only guy that I still have the same after all these years is my manager. But everybody else, we always say the team... I mean, I have a great team around me now. But we always have to do it. Because if you don't care about you in every aspect, then no one will care about you. And so the thing is, even though you have these teams in place, I did my own stand-up special. I've been doing acting full-time forever, but I started doing stand-up because I had time. My day job is I'm on a television show called Two Broke Girls on CBS. And we're in our 6th season. And before that...
Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
6th season. Yeah, anything best one.
It's amazing. It's unbelievable. My father always wanted me to be a plumber, which is the name of my podcast, which doesn't exist, so don't Google it. But he always would say, but I said to my, because he would always say, well, how long do you have? Because, you get the pilot, you get picked up. But I'd done a bunch of pilots before that never went anywhere. Stuff that people assured me I'd be able to retire on the money. And so I had a little time off in between seasons because we were fortunate enough to get a 2nd season right away. And so I started doing stand-up. And so that helped prepare me for being more of a hybrid, because as a stand-up, you literally are a self-promoter. You're getting out there on social media. You're doing all the podcasts, anything that press related to the for the shows when you get to town. You literally have to sell why somebody should come see you. And so as a result, I shot my own stand-up special. I produced my own stand-up special this summer at my high school. It was called my Back to School special, and it was great. But I had to produce it, and I think it was really eye-opening for me. But it was super important, I think, in order for me to move forward and continuing to be successful. Whereas maybe 15 years ago, you could have gotten by without writing your own stuff, without producing your own stuff. But even the biggest names in the game, they were kind of always doing it. Think about Tom Hanks, producer. Jamie Foxx, producer.
He was one early on too that was very keen on producing his own stuff.
And that's where it's at now.
That's him and Spielberg.
Absolutely.
You get with that good crew. Shit. Look at that path.
But that's the thing. You think about that. Think of Quentin Tarantino. He uses the same people a lot. You want to do that. Your buddies are in the room right now, and so I'm saying that's what all
we know. Yeah.
At the end of the day, people say, "How are you successful?" I go, "Look at Adam Sandler."
Oh yeah.
And I've had the privilege of meeting him and hanging out with him and seeing those guys. It's amazing because all they do is have fun all day. And at the end of the day, whenever a lot of times it happens when you're drunk with buddies, but you go, "How do we? This is great. This is fun." And the truth is, if you can find a way to bottle that, that's the way you do it.
Well, and I don't know if Alexander told you a lot about it, but we produced a movie last year called Range 15, and was an executive producer on there. It was a fucking headache, but also one of the stars.
Oh, it ages me. When I produce my own special, brother, I'm 15 years old.
Yeah.
It aged me,
but
so bad.
It's we had a ton of huge names. We had William Shatner, Sean Astin, Danny Trejo, Mindy Robinson, and Randy Couture. We had
Marcus Luttrell.
Marcus Luttrell, who was our fight announcers, Brian Stand,
Brian Stan.
and Mike Goldberg.
Yep.
But it was like what we took away from that is, the next one is just going to be the buddies because it's easy to deal with. Like that was a lot to deal with. Like
I had before I got Two Broke Girls, I had done sort of like a New and Living Color with Jamie Foxx, and it's very hard when you're put. I use it as an example because the show was successful. I mean, we got a season out of it, but there's a difference between people who are put in a room and they're saying like, you guys now have to work together. That is a very specific skill that sometimes, I mean, the most copacetic environment with the friendliest people, it doesn't always gel.
Well, it's a recipe for disaster in that town because what I've learned about that town is everybody works off of this ivory tower scale of once I've made it this far or able to do this job and you're below me, I make the rules. And
well, you know what it is? Because I think that so much, if I may, it's weird. You get shat on for so many reasons that you don't even know why. That, when things happen, and if you're not able, and I think a lot of people burn out in LA more than anything. I don't think it's not that people fade away. You had to have been present to fade away. That people burn out because they take things personally. And so I think when they get into a position of power, then they turn it back on the system, being like, I got fucked. Now I'm going to... And I think that's the wrong way to go about it. I was on an improv team where we were in a competitive competition every week where we would literally have a belt and we would have to defend it by doing 20 minutes of improv against another team. And we won 52 weeks in a row. Undefeated.
That's a year.
And we retired. Yeah, thank you.
That's 1 year.
For the mathletes at home who are listening along, for the calendar nerds. And so here's the thing. But it took each other, and we were like, we only have each other to win, and it was a real like team, a bonding experience, And I've never been in the armed services, but we called it like Band of Brothers, because that's what we really felt like. We were going in. In a of course like completely watered down, but it was we were there for each other and no one had our backs except, and we would do that before we walked on stage. We would hug each other and we would look each other in the eye and go, I got your back, man, because we really felt like a lot of people were gunning for us, and the only way that we were going to be able to get through this is we had to have each other's back and always support and just hope for the best.
And you built the success off of that. Okay, yeah. So I was just thinking like, okay, success, just because people don't really know in the TV world, if you've never been in the TV world, you said
what are all your shows?
You said
done? List those real quick.
Yeah, we don't have a real quick for that. But you said
because you were on Fear Factor, right?
Yeah, I did do that.
And then there was another big one too.
I had a season.
Yeah.
I had a season, which, like you said, that's success. Because
it is.
And a lot of people that don't know TV would be like, well, one season.
One season? No. Wow, you guys are not doing well.
You don't sign up for a season. You sign up for an episode.
Yeah, a pilot.
And then they're like, okay, we'll give you 4 more.
Yeah, it's slowly doling it out.
And then they're like, okay, you did 7. We'll give you another 7. We'll wrap up a season or something like that. And then, that's...
Oh, and now today that's even harder.
10% to get that, and then it's another 2% to get another season.
We tried to do the amount of, because we're in syndication. Two Broke Girls is like you can see it on reruns on TBS and stuff, which is like it's unbelievable.
Coming in.
But that's what it is. You have to go to that level, and especially now, So there's always money. I'm saying in that type of situation, but when you're talking about the career, the sustainability, when you really look at that, what you have to do is you have to bet and try to do things that have long-term projections. So the thing about stand-up is what I tried to do is I tried to always make sure that I was paying attention to what was happening to me today. But I also would mark down and say, what is the trajectory of this in a year? Because if you don't have stand-up specials, so I think I did it within less than 4 years of doing stand-up. I think that's probably pretty premature for a lot of stand-ups.
Yeah,
a lot of guys and girls I know who do it like 10 years in, and they're like, I'm ready.
But it's also I was looking at this because I have a lot of stand-up friends as well, and I was asking the question. I'm like, these are cheap to produce. A stand-up special is
but can I tell you
cheap
something? The problem is that even with all of the Netflix, Showtime, Hulu, HBO, Comedy Central, there's something about you really have to be a niche. A lot of comics that are super famous, they don't even have a special. I mean, they do it that are older. The younger ones now, through social media and through a special, that's how you brand yourself and you're able to be competitive in the market. But a long time ago, you did the road, or you did like Johnny Carson or Jay Leno or something. And now, even if you do Jimmy Fallon, which, by the way, Jimmy, if you're listening, I've texted you. Let's call me. But I would love to do those shows, you know what I'm saying? But they don't necessarily translate into ad sales.
It wasn't Fallon. It was Adam Carolla just reached out and wanted
He's the best. I'm doing his
coffee.
I did his podcast before, and I'm doing it again in a couple
We
weeks.
just mailed him a bunch of coffees.
He's-
So when you see him,
He's
ask him
awesome.
if he liked it.
I promise I will. He's a great guy.
Thank you.
And
no,
he's
I was asking for kids' background just to say you're speaking from experience.
Oh yeah,
You-
absolutely.
You've been in this.
Yeah.
And
I had an entire season of a comedy show called Wild World of Spike on none other than Spike. That was actually back when Spike had programming.
Yeah.
They actually had options
Beautiful.
back then instead of just cops 24 hours a day.
Cops is actually on right now.
Yeah, yeah. And before that, just an episode here, an episode there, a pilot here. You know, that kind of thing.
it's a roller
I've done
coaster.
I think I've
That's the
got
thing. That's the
16
thing.
shows
You know,
that I've done.
a lot of my actor friends that I have though, it's like I feel, because you know how I am. I always trying to look into what other people are doing and saying, okay, how do we do this differently? Like, and it's I see them, they finish one thing and they are scrambling to get the next, and it's like there's got to be a better way.
Well, that's why I started
Yes.
stand-up. But the issue is that, like, a lot of times, everybody thinks they're Tom Hanks or they're Meryl Streep or Daniel Day-Lewis. What you want to be known is you got to brand yourself as doing one specific thing, because that's how people will hire you. You kind of get their reputation, and you do
Fit.
that.
You fit in
You
a- in a
do.
mold.
And in a way, you have to do that. Even guys like Philip Seymour Hoffman had to play the rich douche because that's what he used to look like. And then he was able to do all that other amazing work. So the thing is,
And lots of heroin.
and lots, whatever. He was able to do whatever the hell he wanted.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I wish I had heroin.
Which is
free
the goal.
time.
The goal is
That's the goal.
Whatever the hell you want. Yeah.
And so that's what I wanted to do with stand-up, because I thought to myself, I didn't know how long the show was going to go. I was doing somebody else's words on stage, which I love. I couldn't be happier with the job. But I did all these impressions, and friends of mine. And so the biggest thing that I think, the biggest deterrent people always say are time. Like this year I want to learn a language. I'm trying to learn Spanish. And I thought, well, why haven't I learned it before? And it's a time issue. But I had a summer off from Two Broke Girls in between season 1 and season 2. And so I had no excuse. I couldn't take a job because we were coming back in August, and I had all this open time, and I had the credibility of the show. It was doing very well. And so I just started hitting open mics and just getting on stage and talking about what I thought was funny.
So, quick tangent. Do you know Jamie Kaler?
Yes.
I love him, by the way.
Yes,
He's
of
a
him.
good friend of ours.
Okay, I know of him.
We go do dads in parks with him all the time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Out there. That's his, and that's another
He's a pretty
thing
famous guy.
that he's doing. You know, he started producing dads in parks, and you know, we met him at the GI Film Festival, and ended up flying out there to do dads in parks and stuff with him, and that was kind of like, it's like, dude, you're on the right track. You're producing this segment, like. This is something you can sell to baby companies, like that'll sponsor this, because you're hitting that demographic.
But that's the thing. You have to find who you. I mean, there are very few comics that like just for comedy. I mean, the good thing about Two Broke Girls is there's something for everybody. You know what I mean? That they really, which is the variety of a sketch show. But when you're on stage doing comedy, or you're trying to be your brand. And that's the thing, is the special is what you have to get people to watch. So you have to find like the Venn diagram of what you think is funny and what America thinks is funny, and then kind of meet in the middle and figure that out.
Because those are not the same thing
No, they're not.
at all.
I learned that real quick.
Yeah, I found that through my Instagram. When I think I'm so witty, I'm, oh, this is going to kill him. This is going to kill him. Or I'm going to start a riot. I get 10% of what I would normally get
Absolutely.
for a picture of my dog.
I don't know.
Absolutely.
The air in the shower meme, that was a fucking rock star hit. I
That-
think,
yeah, yeah,
I think
yeah.
when we put that out, that reached close to 14 million people.
Yeah, that was a home
like
run.
that was a you.
People
you
are
crushed
still
it on that one.
texting. People are they'll still send it to me when somebody else uses it. They'll send it to me and they'll be like, "Look, your name's not on it."
It was like-
I know.
That was the thing. So we fought that the first year of people stealing and re-uploading our content and stuff like that. But then we got to the point where it was like, well, wait, if we embed the branding, if every video has us talking about our brands in the end, I don't care if they steal it now because they're stealing a commercial.
Well, that's the way you have to get.
That's the
That's
lesson.
the way you do it. You have to get people to be your word of mouth.
Yeah.
That's at the end of the day for comedy. People will come out to you because they go, "Oh, somebody told me to go see this guy or this girl."
Oh,
and
that's your whole life as a stand-up comic. That's your whole life.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dude, that is
shit,
a,
I don't know how
hard
many
road.
people.
The
I don't know how many
stand-up
people
comedy
I've
thing is a
gone
hard road.
to a show with.
I've done.
Oh,
I've done it once. My first time, open for Adam Sandler.
Oh, wow.
Never done it again.
It's hard. It's hard. I mean,
No, it was great. Luckily, it was what they didn't realize is it was a room full of 200 Marines. Like, so Matt and I did it together, and we just told a story about when we accidentally stole a car. But you know, it was a good
We've all
time.
been
But
there.
it was really funny because the host was Josh Wolf.
yeah, I actually know Josh Wolf
Okay,
very well. We have
yeah,
the
you
same
gotta-
publicist.
We'll have to send him a picture.
He's a great guy.
Yeah, but
very
he's-
funny.
He was sitting back there. He was like, "So how long you guys been doing stand-up?" We never done it. And he goes, "You're shitting me." He's like, "Well, did you prepare?" We go, "No." He's like, "Oh my god, this is gonna be the most amazing thing in the world." But again, he didn't know. So like when Matt and I walked on stage, the Marines fucking lose their minds. And then we just tell this story, and they're laughing and they're cheering and everything. We come back out. He's like, "Who the fuck are you guys?" So we were lucky. We got lucky.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
your wheelhouse right
Yo,
there.
can I
though.
tell you something? No, but that was smart. You got to play to your demo.
Yes.
That's actually. I don't think that was luck at all. I actually think that is what people try to do. You have an audience built in. That's what people try to spend their entire careers trying to find. So it's like if there are certain people. I mean, you know, I list Bob Hope because he played for the Troops every year.
Yeah.
But for a lot of his life, that was his demo, and he knew. You know, it was key.
you know, Bull's got some pretty good amateur impressions.
Oh no.
What can you show him? Come on, you should impression.
He
off
does
right
this
now.
for a living.
I know, but I want him to see yours.
I don't. I promise you.
He's great. We watched the clip. I'm like, oh man, that's freaking awesome.
Tom Hanks, that's my favorite.
Thank
yeah.
you.
That
Oh, yeah.
one
Thank you
is
very much.
that one is so funny.
Thank
I
you.
was running video ideas. through
Well,
my head.
what video did you watch?
It's like a highlight reel. Oh no, it was the BuzzFeed one.
That was so ridiculous. So, I thank you for watching. A buddy of mine who I have to give a shout out to, Chris Reneker, who used to be a guy who was up in the at BuzzFeed for videos. He doesn't work there anymore, but he was like, "Hey man, do you want to just do something with an iPhone?" We recorded that in like an hour, 2 hours, and he was just like, and I was doing Obama on stage, and then he was like, "Can you learn Trump?" And I said, "I don't know, man. I mean, I could probably try to learn him." He goes, "Well, we're going to shoot tomorrow." So he goes, so I
Oh,
go,
you got
all
all
right.
day then.
And I said to him, "Yeah, well, this was at late at night. We're texting." And he goes, "Well, we're going to shoot tomorrow." And I go, "Yeah, but I'm not sure I'll ever use him again." Because when we shot that, it was, you know what I mean? He wasn't close. And I literally was, I remember watching just one interview, and then that impression on that video was the one that got the biggest response because it was shot a year and a half ago.
Oh wow.
And so it was one of those things where it was like I had, no clue. I mean, it would ever come back to be like you could do this on stage.
We've gotten to go and do some work with BuzzFeed quite a few times. It's always an enjoyable experience.
We had a great time.
Very unique in there, like how they have it set up. You know, they took an old grocery store and built all those sets.
Oh,
Like,
it's
super
great.
cool.
And then we just kept finding, we're like, well, this is a bedroom, so Seth Rogen could live here. And this is a bar, so Vince Vaughn could live here. This is a coffee shop.
it's
I'm like,
fucking great,
I'm like, I
man.
guess Jeff Bridges could grab coffee. You know, it's like that's literally what we did. We walked around and we didn't have any really scripts. We just were like, he goes, we'll roll, and he goes, I'll edit it. And it did. Yeah.
It was great, man.
Thanks,
loved
man.
it.
I really
loved it.
appreciate
Do you
that.
know Vincent Marcus?
Vincent Marcus?
Yeah, he's a Vine guy. And
I don't.
I'll introduce you to him after we're done here. Very, very good impressionist too.
Okay.
Very big in the social media world.
Oh, wow.
So
That's the thing, and I will be totally real with you. I didn't have social media before Two Broke Girls. I never had it. And it was one of those things where it really blew up, but everybody in social media is convinced that I'm the character on my show. So
you're a foreign cook.
Yeah, that I'm a foreign cook who is so for me, it's like it's always whenever I put up an Obama video one time, and a lot of the people that follow me were like, "Who is that?" or like, "Why do you sound like that?" Because most of them think that I have the accent. That's actually who I am. So it's like it's weird. I was at the hotel before this, and guy stopped me in the elevator, and you could tell he was just like, "Wow." wanted to know like why do I sound the way I do. So it's weird. So for social media, I'm trying to get out there that I am this guy, not the character on TV.
This
Which I
should
never
help,
thought
hopefully.
I'd have
This should
to
help.
convince people.
Luckily for our film, I just played myself, a fat kid.
You did
Start
great.
there, by the way.
Hot
You did
dogs.
great.
Start there.
Thank you. Did I? I gained weight for the role.
Of course you did.
Specifically for the
Of
role.
course you did.
Yeah, I mean, they were making me eat 6 meals a day
Oh,
in preparation for that. I was just eating 6 meals a day. because I was
Yeah,
so
yeah,
hungry.
yeah. I'm like,
how many hot dogs?
oh,
does
the
that equate out to?
sacrifice.
How many hot dogs is that?
I mean, I dug out like at least 3 times a day.
Wow.
Dog out.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Let's get that
That
true.
is a
dogger.
lot of pig anus.
Lord hot dog. You got any questions for John?
Yeah. So when you're taking a voice, you're taking a certain impression.
Yeah.
What is your process for doing that? Do you just hear it and see it? Do you look at mannerisms? Do you kind of just
Sometimes it's that simple when I can just literally look at something or hear it and I go, you could like sort of, you do that and I sit in the car and I look, at least now there's like Bluetooth, but I only started doing impressions a few years ago.
Oh, no kidding.
And so it was one of these things where, so for me, I had to kind of learn quicker than I would want because when they auditioned for that Jamie Foxx show, they were like, they're going to audition, but you got to do impressions. And I really did. I mean, I did what I called my Branson, Missouri 5. So I did like Chris Walken, I did Bill Cosby, the voice, not a chloroform trick, and I did Brad Garrett from Everybody Loves Raymond, and I did this old actor from Hungary who was in Casablanca, which there's a poster behind. I did Peter Lorre, and then I did somebody else, but Tim Gunn from Project Runway. And then I remember like going in, and then them going, well, my manager was like, they're gonna cast somebody white, but you got to do people that are on TV. So I literally sat in my apartment and I just watched YouTube videos of Vince Vaughn because I was like, well, who talks fast? Because I could talk pretty fast.
Yeah.
And so I thought maybe I'll try to do Vince Vaughn, and I was able to do it. And then I just figured out who I could sort of look like. So if I didn't match the voice, like I was like, well, I could do Nicolas Cage. I can sort of do Mark Wahlberg, And so I figured out.
You got
how
a
to
good
do.
Nick Cage?
I'm trying to think of what Nick Cage I could do. Hi. How are you? I was like,
You have the look too.
well, that's
he
he was one of the first guys.
Like
Nick is always like, hi, how are you?
it's like a tone-deaf Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
or something. It's a weird
with
mix.
a little bit of Tom DeLonge where he
FBI agent.
Cha.
I tried to. Nicolas Cage for me was like, well, it's funny because that was the one that I didn't know other people were doing. So that was the thing. You had to figure out like guys that I do like Tom Hanks, Seth Rogen, Vince Vaughn. I'd never seen people do those guys, and so that's what I tried to make it. That was my niche. Is I was like, you'd heard, even if you do I think I do an excellent Christopher Walken, but it's like people do.
There's hundreds of
guys.
Christopher
So even
Walken.
if you do like the best in the world, it really doesn't
Tom
matter.
Hanks is somebody I've never seen anybody do,
And that's kind
then
of,
you,
honestly-
as well as you do it is even better.
I appreciate
Give
that.
it to him. Give it to him.
Hi. Well, I said, here's my impression of Tom Hanks getting tickled. Okay, that's enough.
Oh yeah.
But you got it. But what I realized was when I went on the road. So that was the other problem. So I did impressions and I auditioned with like 10 of them. So I did like, I don't even remember who I did. It's been so long. But I did like guys that I was like, these will be fun, like whoever, And then when I got on the road to do stand up, that's when I really had to learn impressions because you could do somebody that like everybody in LA loves, and then you get on the road and people in America are like, I don't know who that is.
They want to hear Honey Boo Boo.
Can I tell you, I did a Honey Boo Boo joke because of that. I swear to God, I used to do an impression of Aquaman because I was like, they're coming out with an Aquaman movie, and I never did want to putting this in my special. It's gonna be for my next one. But I did Aquaman like trying to sell his own movie, and I would be like, and then the agent was like, dude, I can't understand you. He's like, well, use subtitles because Honey Boo Boo uses subtitles. And so everyone got that joke because everyone knew even if people didn't know who Aquaman was, they knew who Honey Boo Boo was.
Jeez.
So that's the other thing is like they know when you think of celebrities, they think of reality stars.
Yeah.
So for me, I don't knock any of those people. I really don't. I don't know any of them. I never watch reality TV.
No.
So I really had to come up with guys. I didn't audition with Tom Hanks. He's somebody that I came up with later. But I was looking at who people would just know in the world. And so for me,
the
that
Obama
was like
one's spot on as well.
Thank you.
yeah.
Well, I did
Oh, yeah.
Obama.
Fucking-
I did Obama almost first because I'd never seen a white guy do it. And so it was a thing where I had done, you had just seen so many, and that was the thing, like a lot of the black guys, until you really saw guys like Jay Farrow, who, from SNL, who was nailing it. A lot of those guys that did him who were black, they just looked like him. They didn't really sound like him. And so
would copy the mannerisms.
and they kind of and when you heard him in voiceover, because I would close my eyes and go, "Nah, it's not Obama. It just isn't." Like if I don't look at you, I can't tell who you're doing. And so that was that was a big problem. So I thought, and everyone knew who he was. So no matter red state, blue state, you loved him or hated him, you had an opinion on him. And so that was the good thing, because if there are certain guys that you do, it doesn't matter if people don't really know what to think about them. Do you know what I mean? Like even Christopher Walken, I said I was like, here's my impression of Christopher Walken. You got it, Walken?
Yeah.
No,
do
always
do it. Do the one where he reads the lyrics to the song.
I love that.
Oh, geez, I totally forgot about that.
Yeah, Poker
Okay,
Face.
So yeah,
That's great.
Hold on, let me pull that up.
Yeah. Well, I will pull that up.
So as me and Jared were roommates, and I mean we did stuff like this all the time. He had his room was set, his microphones was there. He goes, "Hey, let's try and do this. Let's try and do this." We had this big whiteboard in there. We'd come home from whatever, and we'd have stuff scrawled on there. We'd sit there, have a couple drinks, and just brainstorm out. And he goes, "All right, dude, now man, let's just film it. Let's just do it live. Fuck it, let's go." And so we just come up with so much just like funny stuff.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
One of my favorite videos we did, because he has a great Robert De Niro, and we did movies Robert De Niro auditioned for and didn't get picked up.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, was it like Brokeback Mountain?
Yeah, it's like
I wish I could quit you. I wish I could fucking quit you.
my favorite. was
That's
the-
funny.
the
It's funny that he
American
would
Pie.
add fucking. It's not
Yeah,
even in there.
Yeah.
He's like,
American Pie. You want me to fuck this
You
pie?
want me to fuck this fucking pie? You want me to fuck this fucking pie?
That's so
I'm
great.
over here and you want me to fuck this fuck? You fuck that fucking pie. Don't fucking come over here and tell me to fuck that pie. He'll just take like that freaking four-word sentence and just like keep running backwards and forwards.
Yeah,
He's
that's
so
great.
He's
I
so
love
great.
De Niro. That's funny, man.
You
I
get
love
your
that.
lyrics up.
I'm finding him.
Here's my impression. Wait, I have to
Yeah.
pull it up because here's my I'm trying to work on this new bit where I'm like, because a great friend of mine, I got to give a shout out to him, Chris Milhouse. Because I was doing impressions, and I do Harrison Ford, and I was doing some bunch of guys, and he was like, people know the guy, but they didn't know the reference. And the truth is, I was doing a reference. I was doing Han Solo, but I did The Fugitive. And the problem is that film's over 20 years old.
Oh, yeah.
But he retired, so there's nothing I could. So he was like, well, why don't you do Chris Walken as a millennial?
Oh God.
And then
my.
I was like, wow, it's crazy. Becky, what a ratchet bitch. She's so stank. Got her up in the club. I don't know why we were just going. All we were doing was like, because I did him as I did him watching The Usual Suspects at the big reveal, and we're walking on walking.
So you
Wow.
Oh, give me the bag, you fucking cocksucker. I don't know, something.
No, give me the bag, you fucking cocksucker. Crazy. Ooh, baby. Ooh.
Oh.
You did a Han Solo. I made a T-shirt that never went to print that I call Ham Solo.
How did that not go to print?
Well, I mean, I still have it. I still have it in the queue. It's just a pig sucking its own dick.
Yeah. For those at home who are wondering,
For wondering what ham solo actually means.
there's no Harrison Ford there.
Oh.
Did you find your lyrics yet?
I did.
Give us this, because this is great. I love it.
Okay, so they had Walken. He was over on some British show doing some stuff, and he's all just total deadpan. They have him sitting there, and they hand him lyrics to I read Lady Gaga's Poker Face, and so they just had him read it. So we thought it was so funny, just kept doing it, and then tried to like replicate it. So we had me sitting. I think we were doing like had like a robe on or something.
Yeah, you were
like
in my chair in
yeah.
the room. It was,
and we were reading like different songs like as like bedtime stories to kids.
Yeah.
Like he's like. I want to hold 'em like they do in Texas plays. Fold 'em, let 'em hit me. Erase it, baby, stay with me. Oh, I love it. Love game. Oh, the intuition, play the cards with spades to start. And after he's been hooked, I'll play the one that's on his heart. Oh, 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 ooh, oh, oh. I'll get him hot. I'm going to show him what I got. Oh, oh, oh. I'll get him hot. I'll show him what I got. Poker face.
That's also Christopher Walken's sex tape. It sounded like.
Oh yeah.
That's what it sounded to me. I used to do. I did Ian McKellen reading 50 Shades of Grey on my special. I did that. Yeah.
Yes.
Because people wouldn't know, so I would come out there and I would go, "Hello, hello." Wait, I don't know. Hold on, let me see if I can hear it. Because hello, my name is Ian McKellen, and welcome back to iTunes excerpts of books on tape. Today, I'll be reading selections of 50 Shades of Grey by E.F. Jackson. So then I was
Oh wow.
it's funny. I should have had these on the whole time because I could hear myself better doing this. Usually these ones
Yeah, no,
and then it
you
would
like
and then
it.
it would him going like, and then at the end, thank you. And I'll read selections tomorrow from Everyone Poops.
Go the fuck to sleep.
Go the fuck to sleep. Hello, I'm Ian McKellen. My voice is made of sleepy time tea. You know that adorable bear with the little hat? Well, that's what I sound like. But you have to. But that's the thing. You got to think of like guys that you've just never heard. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It
I
comes
did.
from that
You know, Charlie
originality.
Day.
Yes.
from-
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm most commonly
I was going to say,
compared to.
well, that's what I was going to ask you. So I tried to come up with, it never really worked, but I have a bit that I'm working on that's going to be on the next special, but I did Charlie Day doing a PSA for sexual harassment in Russia. And it was, what's up, dude? What's up, dude? Niet means niet, bro. Niet means niet. But like, because the thing is, like, I didn't want to do impressions for my bits, but like, I kind of got known for doing them, so I'll do like 3 or 4 micro impressions in a row.
Dude, I gotta show you Vincent Marcus's stand up because again he fought the same thing. He's amazing at impressions, and that's all anybody ever asked him to do.
Yeah.
But he was pursuing a stand up career, and he was trying to figure out a way to incorporate them into the stand up set, and he did it very, very well.
I'd love to see it
Like-
because there's only a couple guys. I mean, it's very because there was the public perception of the way that comedians like this is an old joke that I never really used, but it was one of my buddies and I was joking around where it was like, I can't believe it. The other day, I saw Vince Vaughn and he was at a deli. And I went up to Vince, and then they make up a scenario
Yeah,
that never
they-
happened.
yeah.
Or it's like, what if, hold on, what if Robert De Niro owned or worked at the Genius Bar at Apple? And then it's just like him being like, hey, excuse
You
me.
want me to fix your fucking computer?
That's right.
want a fucking iPhone?
But that's exactly it.
You want me to fix your fucking
So
iPhone?
so yeah,
Bring it
his
over here.
more like we did a Christmas album with him in 2013, and originally, on the whiteboard, we had come up with 7 songs that we recorded and made, and then as we were getting through this, we were like, this really isn't. We had made some funny songs and some funny stuff incorporating his talents because he can do a great Green Day, he can do great Blink, like
That
but-
you know what? It's funny, like singing ones, because I do Sam Smith, and that is a real challenge because they own the rights to that, like to
It's
make
not
money off
parody.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to really, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, because I
Well,
do
what
on
we
my
ended
album,
up
I do the
doing-
weekend. I do the weekend and I do Sam Smith.
What we ended up doing though is the finished product was Peter Griffin was the recording engineer. So instead of us doing just releasing 7 songs, it was Peter Griffin and Snoop Dogg and Joe all in the studio producing this album and arguing with the artist.
That's
So
great.
we had created the songs and then we would cut them off and then you would have the fight between Peter and the artist like what the fuck's wrong with you, and they're arguing back and forth and everything like that. So it was
That's
like,
great.
That's what kind of floated together where we can incorporate what
Yeah.
Vincent Marcus did.
That's funny. I mean, that, and I'm sure that did very, very well. That sounds
yeah,
very funny.
yeah. I mean, this was like before we really kicked off, but yeah, it
And
was
that's
received well.
The thing is, like, my battle, that, to be totally honest with you, is like getting on stage. When I used to do stand up, people thought, because the show does very well and we're very thankful, they thought that I was going to talk about the show. And I would get up there and talk to, and I don't talk about the show at all. I never have, and I never will. I mean, I think I did it like one time because I was at a show, and I won't even say the city, but this dude was sitting in the front row with his arms folded, looking like he was waiting for a bus that was never going to come. And I was just like, in my head, I'm like, I know this guy's waiting for me to talk about broke girls, but I don't want to do it because I have so much material I'm trying to work through. And then finally, I just like looked at him and I was like, all right, all right, I'll tell you something. Like, and I just did it to like make sure he got his money's worth, or he felt that way. But that was it. And I don't do it. So that's my biggest thing, is like, and also the impressions.
Well, now you have endless. You have a whole new thing. I think that you could start a whole stream of videos off of. Phone calls Trump is making to Obama right now.
Well, that's, you know, what's funny. I did. Well, that's what I did, is the tweets back and forth, the periscopes, you know, of him being like, well, that's what I'm trying to work on right now, is because people say that I used to do this Christian Bale Bane bit when it was out, you know, like 3-4 years ago. And people today are like, you know, I think Democrats and Republicans aside, like, people are just like, did he steal like part of his speech from Bane? And I was doing a joke. I'm trying to do a joke where he's the speechwriter. I think my mic went out, or my thing went out.
I'm hearing you.
Oh,
Your
I got you.
monitor.
Just
Got
gotta
it.
play with the connection.
But you know, that I was doing that Bane is the speechwriter, where he's like, I don't want to say that first part. I don't want to say that, and he goes, no, you gonna say Gotham is awakening. I'm not gonna do that part. I'll do something else. Give me more of the speech. And it's just like him going back and forth, and him being like, and he's like, all right, what if we tell them that we're able to say, why would you shoot a man and kill him out of a plane? No, I'm not going to talk about shooting anyone. Give me something else. Just keep it going. What else do we have?
Oh my God, that's so good.
Fantastic. What do you have? What do we have that we can tweet? What's 140 characters? What do we have? Gotham's reckoning. All right, I'm not okay. This is not working. I'm going to take some crazy stuff. I'm going to do it. And then, so anyway, I'm working on that right now. Oh, yeah.
I think the phone calls right now. Like he's mad about placement of things in the White House, or just like, hey, where are these files at?
like,
well,
listen, Barack, it's Donnie T again. Listen here. I'm having a fantastical time, a luxurious time in the White House. This is the worst place I've ever stayed, by the way. But I'm just gonna say this, and I'm just gonna ask flat out. I have a bunch of keys. I don't know what any of them are for. Pence, he's never been here. He never even came here on a class trip. He's never been to the White House. I look like a janitor. Okay, I look like a janitor. I don't know what any of these keys are. So call me back.
Hello, Donald. It's Barack Obama. Got your message. Here's the deal. I was very specific. Joey B, my man Biden, we left detailed stuff that's on top of the daily briefings, so you probably haven't gone through those yet, which is why you haven't seen the keys. So if you can't find that, give me a ring back and be with Michelle. We're going to be hanging out. So this is Barack out.
Barack Obama, is it? Did I hear the beep? Did we hear the beep yet? We heard the beep. Okay. This is Donald Trump calling you back. Listen, I've seen the briefings. I haven't opened them. But I sat on them as a chair. And I couldn't find it. I just found it. And, okay, let me try these keys. Stay with me on the phone. I'm going to try these keys right now. I'm trying this. You know, I haven't been able to take a shit in a week. I've had to go to the yard because I can't open these doors. You know, it's kind of disgusting, but, you know, it's fine. So I'm running out of anytime minutes, so call me back.
Donald, this is President Barack Obama. Still here. Listen, next time just tweet me. I'm telling you, those keys, the bathroom, I'm sure someone will let you in. Just tell them who you are. Not sure what the issue is. I think people know who you are now. So just don't call me every time you have to take a shit. Okay.
I can't. I close my eyes. It's even better.
So good.
Barack Obama just carries mics with him so he can go, this is Barry out. Mic drop.
Oh my God, that is classic. Well, Jonathan, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you
tonight.
so much for having me.
I guarantee they're gonna love this. This was fun.
Thank you. Can I ask you one? What other? Can I just ask you what other impressions do you do? I was just curious.
Yeah,
else
let's
do we
get
do?
it. Let's get on that,
What
Bull.
else do we do, Jared? Man. Mainly walking, a little bit of De Niro. What else
Yeah,
do
it
we
was
do?
just Walken and De Niro was really your impressions, real. And then we made you the annoying orange.
Oh, that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Tried to fuck a banana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, here, say this. It's written on the wall. And then just put your face in this thing and don't move your head because I got to, freaking turn you into like an orange. I'm like, yeah, sure, whatever, dude. And it was like a hysterical video. Pretty good.
The annoying orange. That's Donald Trump's new nickname. How does he not have orange juice?
Guys, listen, you can drink some of me. Some of my blood is in everyone. It's a blood orange. It's fantastical. There's real gold. Real gold. Not for the middle class.
Oranges grown in America.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I wrote this joke for John Boehner like 4 years ago when I started doing Obama, and I transferred it to Trump. But on my special, I did, here's my impression of President Barack Obama as a stand-up comic. And I went,
Hello, America. This is President Barack Obama. Let me be clear. The fact that Donald Trump is ran and now won the President of the United States 2016, how is his campaign slogan not, orange is the new black?
Oh.
and I wrote that for John Boehner, like, because I was like, oh, maybe Boehner will run. And then when he did, I was like, ah, fuck. And then when Donald Trump was like,
Excuse me, traffic cone coming through.
I was like, great. Fantastic, you slippery. Yeah. So, anyway.
No, this is great, man. This is great. Tell the audience where we can find you. Your stuff.
At Jonathan Kite, JonathanKite, and that's Instagram and Twitter. And then hopefully I'll have a website coming in the next month or so. I'm trying to get a domain name from somebody.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
good luck on that.
Thank you.
It's hefty.
I know that
know.
struggle.
Trust me, Evan.
The struggle is real.
It is.
Evan and I collectively own about 4,200 just because we get really drunk and we buy things like cleangerbil.com and gerbilpole.com. Like, the only reason we bought gerbilpole.com was for when grocery stores ask us for our email. Yeah, that's JT at gerbilpole.com.
That's so great. I would use that at PetSmart. Are you running an underground sex trade with gerbils? No. My email is make the gerbils dance at gerbilpole.now.
I own fuckthefuckoff.asia.
Useful.
Useful. I'm going to look through your catalog and see if I can get somebody. That's actually why I'm here. I'm here to find the domain name, guys. Because I tried to get Gerbil Pole.
I just want to put people's picture on that, and that when I get mad at him, I go, yeah, you have pictures on fuckthefuckoff.asia.
Wait, it is. It is.
Like, I go to great lengths for practical jokes. 3 days ago, I had dreadlocks.
Yep, my
Cornrows.
wife put him in.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you a picture right here so we can get you.
He looked very pudgy K-fed.
Yeah,
Pudgy K-Fed?
I got a lot of K-Fed.
How is he not called FedEx now?
Ooh, too easy.
People don't know
Too
who
easy.
He is. Yeah, people are like,
It's
who
too
is that?
easy.
Who are you guys talking about? Oh my
Oh,
God.
you got to see with the extensions.
Oh yeah. Full on down his back.
Oh, I love that. Oh, dude, that is some Predator shit. I love that. That is some Predator / Jerry Rice / current Stevie Wonder. I just saw him on the Tonight Show, and he was still dreading it up.
Really?
Yes.
What is he, like 106?
You know what's funny? I can't tell because he looks
Right.
so young.
Yeah, well, Stevie Wonder's been 50 for the last 50 years.
Yeah, he looks fantastic, and he sings like a motherfucker.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, God, he can still hit every note. One of my favorites.
Well, again, you're welcome back anytime.
Thank you
Ladies
so much.
and gentlemen, for Kid Cope, Bull Adams, Jonathan Kite, and JT, we are out of here in Las Vegas. Bye-bye.
Black Rifle Coffee Company, along with Arson Wave, would like to thank you for tuning in to Black-Hearted. Have a great fucking